Meet Me in Mayfair by Tessa Dare. When your father's dear friend, the Duke of Thorndale, loans the family money for a house in Mayfair, then refuses payment for decades, the father doesn't give it another thought until the old Duke has the audacity to up and die, forgetting all about the loan, and the house is still in the Duke's name. When the new Duke petitions his solicitors to dispose of his London properties for needed capital, notices are sent for the mortgage payments, including the compounded interest. Decades of it. What's a father to do? He must remove his family from the only home they've ever known and take a position on the Isle of Jersey. The Isle of Jersey? Louisa Ward couldn't do it. She must find a way to stay in the city she loves. She must find a wealthy suitor, one to save her family and, of course, herself. And she had one last chance before her family would be whisked away to some foreign home, her dearest friend's Christmas ball. Of course, when she arrives, she finds that her friend has plans of her own, which impede any hope or plan Louisa might have for herself. Fiona shows her dance card into Louisa's hand, begging her to take her dances so her mother would not notice her absence until she was long gone on her way to Gretna Green. Louisa scanned her friend's dance card. All ineligible gentlemen. By Fiona's design, of course. Being in love with the same young man for years, Fiona didn't want to give any of the gentlemen false hopes. That was until the dance Fiona had accepted from her cousin. It was a supper dance, and it was a waltz. Good Lord, how much worse could things get? Apparently, a great deal worse. Her cousin and her waltzing partner was pledged to none other than His Grace, the Duke of Thorndale. Dear God, no. She could say no, but if she did, he would surely tell Fiona's mother that her daughter had left with a headache. This was her best friend, and she couldn't let her down. She somehow had to muddle through this one dance with this despicable man. So she had to do it for her friend. The Duke of Thorndale, James, the man at the center of her scorn, had never planned to be a duke. He had no preparation for it and was far from ducal. But after the death of the old Duke, his uncle, and the sudden death of his older brother, the Yorkshire farmer found himself with a title he didn't want and responsibilities in London. No! He had to rid himself of those obligations. He hated London, their ballrooms and their theaters that were attended not for plays but to be seen. He hated everything about this town, especially all things time. The fake smiles, the agreeable young ladies who smiled and whimpered at the mere presence of a duke. He disliked the demure, acquiescent, false people. He had never found not one honest, straightforward, forthright, say what you mean person in this entire city. Toad eaters, every last one of them. Until his cousin's ball. When two people find the other not at all as they had expected, the man was not at all cold and calloused. The female had no interest in impressing him. In fact, seemed to want to be as far away as she could be. He needed to learn more about this extraordinary young lady. In her attempts to remove herself from his presence, found him gentlemanly and magnanimous. Maybe there was a chance for them both. A pleasant and unconventional evening passes between them until the truth comes between them. A duke who is already suspicious of everyone's motives sees what he wishes to see, whether it's the truth or not. And Louisa, having already lost her heart to the man, with no way to make him understand her feelings had not been given for profit. I give this novella an A. The heat level on this one is a 2.